Now let's talk about metaphors. Metaphors are words you use in communicating with yourself or communicating with others. So it's those words that actually form your vocabularies and by extensions your identity. Surprisingly, most humans lived out of their metaphors. And metaphors is a function of powerful conditioning. And based on those conditioning, you were able to acquire the information or acquire words, which kind of appeals to you, even those words might not actually have or indicate or signify good identity or reflect you from a good identity point of view. And from there, you were able to develop metaphors which you begin to use, and thereafter, such metaphors in one way or the other reflect your identity. Take, for instance, if you've ever seen a young guy who is actually walking along the street, professing himself to be a nigger, you could take a close look at how he moves and how he does things. You'll realize that how he does things actually reflect that he is a nigger in the real sense. But at the same time, you realize that he or she might not actually want to be called by the word a nigger, or perhaps by when someone's trying to describe him, someone trying to portray him from a bad perspective, using that word, he or she might not like it. So the same thing applicable to different types of metaphors which people often use, and you realize in one way or the other, those metaphors shapes people's identity. So the point here is you want to ensure that the metaphors you're using is in sync with your desired identity. If being called a nigger isn't a problem for you, that's okay. But if being called a nigger is going to be a problem for you, then you have to choose your metaphors in such a way that such metaphors wouldn't alter your identity in any way. Thus, by carefully choosing your metaphors, that is the words you use, you will realize you modify your identity towards your desired identity. And thus, you will by default be positioning yourself towards your desired primary success in any categories of life.